Doug! And the team of Jesus, Carson Wentz, Drake Benson! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
It's a body bag. 17-6. This is for y'all. Let's hear this song. E-A-G-L-E-S, they worn down. We wore them down. Let's punch it in. What's that? Smallwood emotion? On. Intentional grounded, Cam.
Oh, the flag! Come on, man.
Feels an incomplete pass.
Yeah! Words can't fucking describe it. Pathetic. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. First of all, before I start this video, obviously it's about a 3-hour drive from my house to the link. I got some time. I got some time to get this one out of the way right now because it's a lot weighing on my mind and I don't want to forget anything. First of all, before I start this video, however, I want to give a huge shout out to Rob and Evan. Those guys, they hooked me up. They hooked me up with the tickets. They welcomed me in with open arms, showed me great love, showed me the ropes of their seats and where they're set up pretty much every game. Great seats. You get a nice little overhead of the field. You can see everything. You can see plays develop, everything. Great seats, great guys. I hope to do more business with them. Hope to do more Eagles game watching with them. Really great guys, man. Had a nice small tailgate. Really great guys. Also, I also saw E-Rock. Just had a encouraging conversation with E-Rock, man. You know, about pressing forward and being the best content creator I can be. Also did a bear baptism. That was pretty dope. E-Rock is really the man. E-Rock is really the man out here, man, when it comes to this Eagles thing. I heard Desert Eagle was out there. I didn't see Desert Eagle. I didn't see Joey Shakes. But I'm slowly getting around to seeing the people that are in the Eagles community that, you know, that I like, you know, and that inspire me to be better and make these cool videos. So I predicted a 14-point win in this game. Obviously, we didn't get the win, but we were up enough that we should have been able to sustain the win. Now it's coming to a point now. First of all, we're looking like middle of the pack trash right now. We're looking like middle of the pack trash. We looking like that we don't want to be in the playoffs. The only reason why we think that we can actually make the playoffs is because the division is so trash. The division is trash. So we're always going to think we have that shot of getting in. And I don't think we feel like our backs are totally against the wall when we need to be feeling like our backs are totally against the wall. I don't know what you call a team. I don't know what do you call a team that takes nice commanding leads and then blows them. Well, is it a good team? Because you're good enough to go up, but you're not good enough to sustain a lead. It's just so many questions. I mean, you could watch these games from row house. You can watch these games from you know, row your couch, seat the second pillow if you want, and make your diagnosis. That's up to you. But fans go to these games And fans see these games different for the fans that go to games now. Jalen Mills is always going to be used as a scapegoat, especially by a lot of people who don't even really understand the game of football. It's not Jalen Mills, it's the scheme Jalen Mills is in. You can plug anybody, you can plug anything into a scheme, especially a cornerback. If you play a certain scheme, like this zone scheme that we're so adept to playing, anybody's going to lose their way in that scheme. I'm sorry. Anybody's going to lose their way in that scheme. I'm sorry. We get no pressure up front. Our defensive line is not good. The defensive line ain't good. We got good names on it, but the defensive line as a unit collectively aren't good. Maybe that'll change when we get Jernigan back. But right now, just to be 100% honest, the defensive line isn't good. It isn't a good defensive line. It isn't. We're getting no pressure on Cam Newton. Cam Newton has way too much time, and we didn't make him uncomfortable. We didn't make him uncomfortable. Now, the defensive scheme is one thing. We all knew the defensive scheme was in question. The offensive scheme really surprised me today, man. Really surprised me. Yeah, we had a lot of open people. Wentz was picking them apart in a sense, to a degree. Wentz was picking them apart. But at the end of the day, why are we waiting until our backs are against the wall to try to throw a fly route to Alshon Jeffrey? Alshon Jeffrey was literally unguardable in that game. Literally unguardable in that game. Why are we not throwing a fly route earlier to force pass interference situations? Why are we not trying to take the top off the defense? Why are we letting them know that we're not going to do that? You know, the offensive play calling bothered me. Then we decide to go up and we're throwing little out routes to Nelson Aguilar. We're throwing little screens to Smallwood that aren't going anywhere. We're not throwing the ball downfield for what reason? What reason? The offensive play calling towards the stretch was atrocious. It was just as bad as the defensive play calling. It was a total, and I mean total, team collapse towards the end of the game. Like, it's one thing to fold like a piece of cheese, but we melted like sprinkled cheese on hot grits. It was terrible, man. It was terrible to watch. It was terrible to watch. Now I understand you win some, you lose some, but it's the way that we're losing these games, man. That's even more worse. That's even more sad. It's the way that we lose in these games that are even sad. It's sadder. It's saddening. It's dude. I'm driving home, talking about what I saw, talking about what we all saw. Literally, they broke my heart. We got our hearts crushed today. This felt like a playoff loss. This felt like there's no more games next Sunday. It really felt like that. I mean, you lose a game by 2, you lose a game by 3, you lose a game by 4, you lose a game by 6. We have not lost a game by more than a touchdown. Mental errors are killing us. Mental brain farts are killing us. Carson Wentz looked like a rookie. Carson Wentz looked like a rookie on that last drive. He got away with not throwing an interception with the ball hitting the ground. You miss a wide open Wendell Smallwood in the flat, not only for a first down, but I believe he gets in the end zone from where I was sitting. I believe he gets in that 6. I mean, the defense held their own for the first half. When the defense is holding their own like that, you should be up way more than what we were up at halftime. You should be up more than what we were up at halftime. There weren't no bad calls by the refs. It was just poor on us, man. It was poor on us. Jake Elliott has to be reevaluated at this point. Jake Elliott is missing way too much. Jake Elliott's kicking is exactly what it personifies the season, the way Jake Elliott is kicking the ball. We are just as inconsistent as Jake Elliott as a whole. As a whole. Something's wrong with this team. I think it's the defensive scheme. I think it's the offensive scheme at times. Something is very, very wrong with this team. And it needs to be fixed if we want to think about getting back to championship form. First and second seed are probably out of the question at this point. Most likely, first seed is out of the question. Second seed is 90% out of the question. These things are out of the question right now. Out of the question. We are not, the entire NFC is up and down, to be honest. The entire NFC is up and down right now. But you got You got one dominant team in the Rams. Everybody else is a liability, in my opinion. So we still most definitely have a shot at making the playoffs. I still believe we're going to make the playoffs. But it's like the games that we should be winning, we should not be losing no game when we up this much. We should not be losing the game when we have a lead like this. Total collapse, man. Total collapse. We don't need no damn Devontae Parker. We don't need no weapons for Carson Wentz. Why do you need weapons when your tight end is literally catching for 100 yards a game? Last 2 games. Alshon Jeffries is doing his thing. Wentz is throwing 2 touchdowns, almost 300 yards. Wentz ain't throwing interceptions. The ball is getting moved when the right plays are getting called. But we need a running back, I think. But why get a running back? We barely run the ball. We had 50-something rushing yards this game. We're not doing what we're supposed to do, man. We're not doing what we're supposed to do, man. And a lot of it is the defense's fault for letting Cam run. I think Cam basically threw for 200 yards in the fucking fourth quarter. I think Cam threw for 200 yards in the fourth quarter. I look up at the scoreboard. Cam got 120 yards passing. He finished the game with about 3-something. 2 touchdowns. Embarrassing, man. Embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. You know, the tailgate and all that was fun. You know, connecting with people that watch my videos all the time, that was fun. But at the end of the day, we all came to connect with one another to see a win. That's why we came. We came to see a win. Literally literally thousands of people outside. I think the game might have been sold out. Thousands of people outside, negative, like under 50 for sure. Howling winds, freezing, my feet was cold, and we do all that to lose. All of that to lose. Total team flop. Now we have to play the bowl. We have to play the bowl between the 2 teams that are literally falling apart. The Jaguars are falling apart and the Eagles are falling apart. I can't even for certainty say that we're going to win this game. Because if you look at it, the Jaguars are like they're due for a win. Literally just fell apart. Carson Wentz is losing the ball. Just the ball just squirting out of his hands like a goddamn, I don't know, like a damn bar of soap in a prison yard. Ball just squirting out his hands. It's unacceptable, man. A lot of unacceptable stuff. Corey Clement fumbles. Carson had to dive on it. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable play by defending Super Bowl champions, man. I definitely believe we're going through a hangover. I definitely believe we're inconsistent. We have not put together 2 wins in a row. We're inconsistent. And if we don't get it together, we're going to find ourselves on the outside looking in.